Oh, did you what? Did you miss me, huh? Huh? I know sometimes, goddamn, you want to goddamn kiss me, but did you miss me, ain't it, man? Huh? Guess what the fucking who the fuck it is? Guess who it is? Guess where we are, cause we came so far, huh? Guess where we are, cause we did what? We came so far. Huh? This is what? Come on with it. Come on, come. Sis. If you see this later, if you see this now, huh? Say it with me. This is Cosmic Mind UV, man. And it's always where you need to be, huh? Make sure you put your notification on for the near shine. Salute to my co-host, my divine Empress, feminine co-host, Empress Star, taking you far no matter where you are, man. Alright? This Cosmic Mind UV. We gonna talk about the ripple effects of this junk food real quick, man. We gonna get in and out of here, man. And yeah, man. Yeah. Y'all already know what it is. And we gonna be as brief as possible. And yeah, man, we back rolling, man. And take a little break Do this, look a little this, look a little that. So y'all sit tight. We'll get you right. All right, all right, all right, all right. All right, here we go, man. Here we go. Here we go. We go. Junk food doesn't just affect the body; it also has deep effects on the brain and mind. So we're gonna do the effects of junk food on the brain and the mind first. All right, all right, all right, all right. Here's a bust down of the main ways it impacts mental, emotional, and cognitive health. Make sure you share, because I was a junk food junkie one time at one junction, man. I think we all went through the junk food junkie phase, man. So send this to somebody that's saying it's hard to get off that junk food, man. It's hard to get off that sugar, man. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure we have a few people it's tough. It's tough. So send this to them, man. You know, hopefully this will help compensate for some of the talking you'll have to do. Okay, number one, brain chemistry and addiction. Junk food high in sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats triggers a dopamine rush in the brain's reward system. The same system involved in drug addiction. Did you hear that? You ready? The same system involved in drug addiction. Over time and space, this can create cravings, dependency, and compulsive eating. All right? Well, they say compulsive eating disorder, whatever term you need, making it harder to resist unhealthy foods. So that's when those say, man, it's so tough, it's so hard, because you addicted, man, and you dependent on it, huh? It dulls the brain's reward response. So you need more junk food to feel satisfied. Number two, mood and mental health. Diets high in processed foods are linked to increased risk of depression and anxiety. The brain is highly sensitive to blood sugar swings. Junk food causes spikes and crashes, leading to irritability, mood swings, and fatigue. Poor nutrition can lower serotonin production, the quote-unquote feel-good, end quote, neurotransistor, making it harder to maintain emotional balance. So that's why I be saying a lot of times, people say, man, it's your diet. It don't have nothing to do with my goddamn diet. Yes, it does. So when people say, we don't got to eat the same to think alike, you lying to your motherfucking self, ain't it? They lying to themselves. Ain't it, Herb? That's why they call it what? That's why they call it brain food for a reason, ain't it right? Not just a goddamn season. They call it motherfucking brain food for what? For a reason. Oh, I love it when we get like this. Woo! Memory and learning. Studies show that junk food can impair the hippocampus, the part of the brain tied to memory and learning. So when our elders and stuff, remember, because I guarantee you, it is something to do with their diet. Whether it's the lactose, that's sugar, whether it's the high fructose corn syrup, whether it's different forms. So just because they say different terminologies or it has a different name to it, it still equates to the same person. It's still linked back to the same original bouchette. High sugar and fat diets slow down neurogenesis. Yeah, we got to do a show on that. The creation, you write that down for me whenever you can. The creation of new brain cell. God damn, Earth. So you mean to tell me we talking to people operating on old goddamn brain cells? Come on, one time. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. So chosen ones, elevated ones, enlightened ones, people that got the intellectual funds, baby. We be like, damn, why these people don't understand me, man? It's because you don't eat alike, you don't partake in nutritional activities alike, so you aren't gonna think the same. You aren't. Look, that's when it comes to business, creative ideas, critical thinking. So it's easy for people to say to have discernment and all that. But if their brain is all foggy and cloudy and processy, high sugar and fat diets slow down neurogenesis. What is neurogenesis? And what is the hippocampus? We're gonna do those shows, y'all. We got those shows coming up. That'll probably be part 2 and 3. The creation of new brain cells. Children and teens who consume a lot of junk food often show poorer academic performance and memory recall. So this is why they lacking in the performance in that facility, y'all, or whatever else y'all be sending them to. Why they can't remember nothing? They so goddamn inflammation in the brain. Oh, Earth. Inflammation in the brain, Earth. Junk food triggers inflammation, not just in the body, however, also in the brain. This brain inflammation is linked to neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and reduced mental sharpness. So if they don't want to eat healthy, just because do it because just for your self-preservation. Hey, they call it brain food for a reason, not just a season, ain't it, Mike? Look, recharge and or sleep and focus. Junk food disrupts recharge or sleep cycles, making the brain less able to repair itself. Poor sleep or recharge combined with sugar crashes weakens concentration, focus, and decision making. And I know it's some of y'all out there that's popping them energy drinks, the Red Bulls, the Monsters, the whatever. I used to drink them energy drinks. I'm telling you, that crash does not feel good at all, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna get sick of that shit quick. Maybe not. Maybe not. All right, here we go. Conclusion for this section. Junk food acts like a short-term, quote-unquote, pleasure button, end quote, for the brain. However, drains long-term brain health. It rewires reward systems, worsens mood, damages memory, and increases the risk of mental health struggles. So what you mean if we in a relationship and we don't eat alike, that we gonna have problems with your behavior? And y'all gonna be getting in 20,000 times more arguments, ain't it, man? Because the parasites gonna be having a dance in their goddamn brain, ain't it? Replacing it with nutrient-rich foods, omega-3s, antioxidants, whole foods, helps the brain stay sharp, calm, and resilient. Effects of junk food on the body after a few days. Okay, changes start within just a few days of eating it regularly. Here's what happens: sugar, and energy. Within a few days of eating high sugar junk food, your blood sugar spikes quickly, then crashes. This leads to fatigue, irritability, brain fog, and cravings for more sugar. The body starts struggling with insulin regulation, which over time raises diabetes risk. So all of our elders, y'all, because they will fight you to the fight to the ain't it? They will fight you to the last drop of the drop. Man, hey, we keep talking about the diabetes. Then they taking the prescription crap. Then they taking the shots. Then they doing then they line up put the wigs on. They just kill me. They got a waistline. They got a waistline. You see a landfill. Look at your body as a land, and what are you filling it with? Digestive system. Junk food is low in fiber and high in processed fats, leading to sluggish digestion, constipation, bloating, etc. The gut microbiome. What is the gut microbiome? We got a show coming up on that. Healthy bacteria in your intestines. That's why I was saying a lot of people have intestine blockages and inflamed intestines. That's why I be saying when you be saying you a BBW, no. That's not a fupa. That's inflammation. That's not a fupa. That's inflammation. Once you get the right information, shifts quickly, favoring harmful bacteria that thrive on sugar and processed food. This affects not just digestion, however, also mood, immunity, since 70% of immune function lives in the gut. So that's your those other brain, heart and circulation. Even after a few meals, triglyceride levels rise and blood vessels stiffen, making it harder for blood to flow smoothly. Blood pressure can go up due to excessive salt. You can't forget the salts now. Not just the sugars, the salts too. Watch how you season in your foods, baby. That's why you get the powders, not the salt. Ginger powder, a garlic powder. Okay. And processed food herbs. These changes increase strain on the heart, even in young and healthy people. So they'll be like, man, such and such was on such and such. Their diet was terrible, that much more terrible. And what I'm saying is, when you come this, yeah, we just covering sugar, but what I'm saying is, usually people have I call it a mixed drink of dysfunction, meaning they have multiple things going on. They got the salts, they got the sugars, they got the dairy, they got the, you know what I mean? They got the chemicals going in their body from whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, and then let's not get into the chemicals on some of y'all jobs. So you got chemicals on your job, you're feeding yourself chemicals, you're wearing chemicals, cosmetics, you hear me? So look, brain and mood. After only a few days, people often report slow thinking, poor focus, and low motivation. So when you getting that report from the teacher saying, man, they're just so tired, they're so da 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 da, it is the shit. The school or you or them, they, those is feeding them on a consistent basis. The star seeds, that's just what it is. Mood swings and anxiety increase due to sugar highs and lows. And people say, well, it's just a generational thing. No, that means it was just a lot of lazy ass intellectual motherfuckers, because they was doing the same shit and they passed it to you, and you doing the same lazy ass intellectual shit too. Now, Junk food also affects sleep quality or recharge quality, leaving you tired and restless. Muscles, so y'all that want to get right and get all fit and tight, huh? Muscles and weight. The body quickly shifts into fat storage mode. Ladies, do you hear me? Do you hear me? I can't just say to lose no weight, girl. I be going to the gym. I be on the da 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 da. It is too much sugar. It is too much salt. It is too much processed foods. You hear me? It says the body quickly what? Shifts into what? Fat storage mode. What is fat storage mode? Because of excess refined carbs and fats. Also, we got to watch out for the starches too. A lot of breads, a lot of pastas, and things of that nature. That fat storage mode. And see, they're gonna think you talking shit to them, but it's literally a term. I mean, muscles get less efficient using glucose for energy, making you feel weak and tired. Early signs of weight gain, puffiness, and water retention, ladies or elders. Why is my legs, my whatever, my joints, may show up. So they be thinking, oh, they want somebody to eat healthy. Hey, do it or don't, fam. You know what I mean? At this juncture, immune system. Within days, I mean days, y'all. We're not talking about weeks, years. We are talking about within days. That means before the week is out. If you start on Monday, by Friday, it hawked you down. You hear me? Huh? Whew. Within days, junk food creates systematic or systemic inflammation. That means all your body knows is inflammation. This makes the body weaker against colds. Why is my child always sick? Or why they always got asthma? Why they always got the something? Because, first of all, you sending them around other children with weaker immune systems. That's number one. Or you sending them into an environment with people with a variety of immune systems. When you send them to these facilities, ain't it, man? So, let's start there. Okay. It says weaker against colds, infections, and slows down healing. Hey, why is my body taking so long to heal? Huh? What they say, bounce back. Why my body taking so long to bounce back? In just a few days. In just a few days. Think about the people we talking to now. All them family members, homies, friends, colleagues. They been eating this shit for us too for years. Yeah, it's hard for you to get off it because it's an addiction. You are dependent on it. So yes, you either, watch this, you as the person, as the vessel, has to be either that much more disciplined, or the person that's motivating you have to be that much more disciplined on you. Do you see how that works? Because that's the only way you gonna we, them, they, those, us gonna stick to it. Okay. In just a few days of junk food, the body shows signs of stress, imbalance, and inflammation. You may not see major illness yet. However, the groundwork is already being what? Laid. Quick review, y'all. Quick review. We did. Hold on, y'all. All right. Small commercial break. No worries. No worries. My star seeds, doing their intellectual, elevating their intellectual capabilities, was asking to check some of the work. We making the mental twerk, huh? These affects not just the digestion, however, also food, immunity. Oh yeah, okay, we did that one. Okay, circulation, boom, boom, boom. Okay, okay, we did that one. Boom, 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 junk food, quality, sleep, boom, muscles. Oh, okay, you said to do a quick review. Okay, so we did the effects on the muscles and weight, the immune system, brain and mood, heart and circulation, digestive system, blood sugar and energy. We did sleep and focus, inflammation in the brain, memory and learning, mood and mental health, brain chemistry and addiction. So this is all the things we covered. So when people say mental health issues, I guarantee you, if you examine most people of what they eat, that's gonna be telling you, that's gonna lead to why. I'm just saying. All right, here we go. So when you in these relationships convincing the person that you would, let's eat healthy, let's eat better, let's go pescatarian, vegan, whatever steps y'all at, say it's not only for just to be a trend, it's for our mood. It's for your mood. It's so we'll feel better. It's so we will think better. We will rationalize better. We will have that in it. If people say, what is it? Emotional intelligence. How you gonna have emotional intelligence when your diet is wrecked? You hear me? How you gonna have emotional intelligence your diet wrecked? Okay. Okay. Junk food affects on other aspects other than the body. Y'all ready? Other than the body. Okay. Here we go. Ripples into also other aspects of life. Here we go. Here go the buzz down. Y'all make sure y'all share this. Share this to the elders. Share this to the whoever. Share this to the ones you been fucking. Just share this. You hear me? I'm just saying. Because you already know. For the ones that know, they know. I mean. Mood and emotions, mood swings, sugar highs and crashes lead to irritability, frustration, and sudden sadness. Damn, why am I sad all of a sudden? Ain't why is my child da 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 whatever? You hear me? Anxiety and depression. Diets heavy in junk food are strongly linked to high risk of depression and anxiety. And then people got this stupid ass song that they want to play. It's my anxiety. You see, they made that dumb ass shit into a bullshit ass trend. You see the shit I be talking about? That's shit I be talking about. And people just be singing that stupid ass shit. Anyway, mental focus. Low nutrition reduce mental health clarity, creativity. What you mean it's going to affect your creativity? Huh? So when we go into these beings that diet isn't correct, and we come up with these creative ass ideas, what do we be saying? They can't see what you see. I wonder fucking why. Creativity and sharp decision making. Huh? How we gonna be sharp in business and other aspects when our diet is trash? Spiritual and energetic health dulls intuition. That means what? We gonna be slow on the uptick. Heavy processed foods lower vibration, making it harder to connect with higher consciousness. That's why they be getting tired. They be like, attention span so short. Huh? Ain't it Earth? Because if it's affecting the children's attention span, you think it will affect the adults? Okay. Ancestors or divine guidance blocks energy flow or energy flow. Junk food creates sludge, end quote. That's why I said wasteland. They be thinking I just be like talking shit. It's sludge. You hear me? It's a wasteland. What's in wastelands? Sludge and sewage and shit. You hear me? Most people picture that. You hear me? In the wasteland. In the system, blocking chakras, especially solar plex and third eye. Huh? How they gonna let their higher self fly? Hmm? When they got that blocking their third eye? Huh? Weakens discipline. Oh, what you mean they lack discipline? What you mean you lack discipline as an adult or anybody in certain areas? Damn. What you mean you lack discipline in your diet? You lack discipline in your workout regimen. You lack discipline in your whatever. Huh? Overindulgence disconnects you, them, they, those from spiritual practices like meditation, fasting, and or affirmations, etc. Financial well-being. Oh, you mean it's going to affect your swallow? It's going to be all wicked and voila. It's going to be all wicked. It's going to get it. Look, financial well-being. Junk food seems cheap because the first thing they say is to what? To go vegan or eat healthy? Is to what? Is to what? Because they want 20 niggas for $1. They gonna make them holler. Look, it says financial well-being. Junk food seems cheap. However, frequent purchases add up. So what you mean it's gonna hit that pocket like a motherfucking rocket? It creates a cycle of spending on cravings instead of investing in nourishing food or resources that build long-term wealth and self-what? Preservation. For the what? For the motherfucking nation. Woo! Healthcare costs. Uh-oh. You mean it's gonna be healthcare costs? What you mean it's gonna be healthcare costs? What you mean, Cozmik? Healthcare costs rise later due to illness tied to poor diet. What you mean it's gonna walk you down and it's gonna snatch your fuck ass when ain't nobody around? Relationships and social life. Oh man, it's gonna affect that too. Mood swings and fatigue affect you, how you treat others. Now let's not get caught up. Look, we didn't get over to the liquor drinkers. You know what I mean? And the bad diet, and the jab, and you may well say they just a chemical, biological. You talking about biological warfare, huh? You talking about chemical warfare, huh? There's a lot of chemical warfare walking around, ain't it? Man, what you mean, motherfuckers had sex with chemical warfare ass niggas? Huh? What you say? What you say? Motherfuckers had sex with chemical goddamn wasteland motherfuckers. See, they be thinking goddamn Cozmik did be saying, but hey, I'm gonna give it to you like we in the hood. So it's what? Well over what? Overstood. Goddamn. So much hell. Shared junk food habits runs overreacting can bond people in the moment, however often build unhealthy cycles in families and communities, aka BK whatever, trauma bonding. Because most people come together and they always doing what? They coming together and eating. We got to be somewhere to eat and drinks. Eat. You hear me? I'm just saying. Lack of energy reduces quality time and space and patience with loved ones, etc., and co-workers, partners, etc. Productivity, and purpose. Oh man, it's going to affect our purposes. Lower energy and focus decrease productivity at work, school, business, and or etc., etc., etc. When the body is weighed down, it's harder to stay motivated. Ain't that something? Disciplined or consistent in pursuing life goals. This is why we have to talk about energetic connections, because our energetic diets of the beings and people and environments we around. What is our energetic diets? We doing the physical diet, yeah. But see, the food's supposed to have what? Messages, eh? So if it's not giving us, if it's giving us chemical dis-ease and not divine messages, okay. Woo, 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 woo. Okay. It says, or consistent in pursuing life goals. When the body is weighed down, it is harder to stay motivated, disciplined. So all you athletes, you young athletes, you young whatever, you hear me? You young writers, you young musicians, you young creators. Why am I having writer's block? Cause your goddamn third eye's blocked. Huh? You won't get this on TikTok, huh? And your sacral chakra is blocked, huh? The chemical, the feel-good chemical that makes you feel good about the shit you want to do is blocked. God damn it! Summer jamming. Woo! I love this shit. I love it. I love every second of it. I hope they love every Miller, cause we back with no slack. Diamond in the back, sunroof down. Huh? Ooh. Over time, junk food can pull people away from their mission and higher calling, community and culture. Then we gonna get the sacred conclusion. In many indigenous and or black, original, copper tone, everything, and melanated communities, junk food is marketed heavily. That's why when you watch the tell lies to your vision, what they gonna push more of? Okay, there we go. Unhealthy stuff. It's gonna have you inflamed out here. What you mean? What is brain inflammation for the nation? Do we have what is brain? We got to do what is brain inflammation for the nation. It's vital. It's vital for the recital. This contributes to generational cycles of poor health. That's why when people say, it's in my family, it runs it. This contributes to generational cycles of poor health. So that's why we keep saying that, those keep saying that same slogan and that phrase, it runs in the family. Shorter lifespans. What you mean is going to shorten it? That's why people keep planning to die, because you eating to die. Huh? You not eating to what? Oh. And dependency on healthcare systems. It becomes not just a personal issue, however, a collective struggle for liberation and wellness. Sacred conclusion: junk food doesn't just hurt the body, it clouds the mind, dims the spirit, drains finances, weakens relationships, slows purposes, and affects whole communities. Reclaiming our food choices is also reclaiming clarity, power, and freedom. Overall, summary and conclusion for my part, and then the next voice you will hear is Empress Star taking your fall no matter where you are. And then we're gonna do the wrap up after that, and then we gonna see. We're gonna see if we're gonna, you know what I mean, we're gonna do a little bonus show. We'll see what the flow go. Alright. Okay, full sacred summary of everything we just covered, alright? Body, mind, soul, spirit. Let me hear it. Overall conclusion: the ripple effect of junk food. Junk food may feel like comfort in the moment. However, the effects its effects begin within days, ain't it, man? And spreads far beyond the body. Physically, it brings blood sugar crashes, sluggish digestion, inflammation, or when you say fupa, or when you say BBW, or when you say you just fluffy, or you say all that other bullshit, okay? Weight gain and lowered immunity. Mentally, it hijacks the brain's reward system, creating cravings, brain fog, mood swings, and even depression or anxiety. Spiritually, junk food lowers vibration, clogs energy or energy centers, the chakras, and dulls intuition. That means you know what I mean, your timing on things. You know what I mean? If you need to be quick on the decision making, you're gonna be slow, especially when it's needed, keeping us disconnected from higher self, ancestors, and divine purpose. Financially, it drains resources through consistent spending and future medical costs. Socially, it disrupts relationships, reinforces unhealthy cycles in families and communities, especially where food deserts exist. Collectively, it weakens people's power to rise in health, wealth, and liberation. Sacred truth. Junk food is not just a personal choice. It is a tool of disempowerment. Each bite either feeds life or feeds death. Gah! Damn. God damn. That's brick and mortar bars right there. That is brick and mortar bars right there. It say why each bite either feeds life or feeds death, especially for pregnant ladies, huh? Ain't it? Either sharpens clarity or clouds vision, huh? And it's gonna fuck up your decision, ain't it? By shifting toward whole living foods, reclaim not just health, however, mental freedom, spiritual alignment, community strength, and generational empowerment. Let me go ahead and get a short commercial break. Y'all take a small commercial break. Empress Star is getting herself together real quick and real slick, and make sure she got a sacred space. Gonna be all in here. I say they keep saying that she gonna come through with a sacred space on your motherfucking face. I said that. All right. Make sure you support. Make sure you support by sharing. Make sure you support by sharing. Make sure you support by subscribing. At least do those first two things. If you aren't gonna donate financially, at least share this or subscribe if you aren't going to donate financially, all right, or collaborate. Don't hesitate. All right, y'all, we'll be right back.
All right, all right, all right. Welcome back, welcome back. Part two of the effects of junk food and the body. I was just thinking about as a child eating the junk food and, you know, growing up eating the junk food and having mood swings, not understanding why, but just knowing eating the food from such a young age is just embedded in us, and we go through so many mood swings. And they're like, women are so moody. That's because we've been fed the wrong things our whole lives, so we have that imbalance in our bodies.
Say that one more time.
All right, all right. So yeah, like I was saying, it's just because of the diets that we had from a young age. We they say we so emotionally wrecked. That's because of the diet that we've had as children, not knowing that we're supposed to change it and continue to, just eat the unhealthy fats, the unhealthy sugars, unhealthy salts. And once you start to change your diet, you start to change your mind. Your mentality starts to change. At least that's what I'm starting to see for myself. For me changing my diet, I'm less moody. I have less attitudes, less bouts of sadness, etc., etc. Even with bouts of depression, I don't even feel myself being as stressed and depressed as I was. Now versus when I was eating so many sugars, so many unhealthy sugars, because not all sugars are bad for you. But when I was eating the unhealthy sugars, I was just so emotionally up and down, sad, etc., etc. I know it's different influences that causes the sadness, the depression, etc. But I'm just talking about the diet and the change that I see since I switched my diet over. But yeah, we have to do better as parents, especially if we're the ones that's preparing the meals. We have to snatch the junk foods, which we've already did. Snatch the unhealthy snack foods, the junk foods from the from our star seeds. If you're gonna put the unhealthy stuff in your body, you shouldn't teach it to your children. Don't do that to your children. Give them a fighting chance, mentally, emotionally, and it even affects you spiritually. That's what we're going to talk about. Like, um, because junk food diet is not just talking about the sugars. It's talking about the trash food that you put into your body, the dead food that you put into your body, the carcasses if you still eat meat, if you still partake. Everyone has a step in their journey when they wake up and they want to do better for themselves. Once you know better, you cannot unknow. So we all know that meat is not good for us, especially the fast food joints. 90% of the food is not even real food. So you're doing your body a disservice for putting that crap in your body. And honestly, we need to be working on the next generation. So we need to be putting great foods inside of our star seeds, teaching them the importance of keeping their temple clean, putting life-giving food in their bodies, teaching them how to go out there and cultivate the land so you can grow your own food, so you'll know exactly what you're putting in your body. And that's a whole different show. But really it's not, because the effects that the junk food is having on us is putting sludge in our bodies, sludge in our minds, so we can't live up to the fullest of our capabilities, the fullest of our abilities, because we're just going to 9 to 5s, because we don't have that spark to do start our own businesses, because the sacral chakra is blocked. So junk food affects far more than just the body. It reaches into the mind, emotion, spirit, and even sexuality. And here's a breakdown. Mentally, it gives you brain fog. Processed sugars and fats slow down mental clarity, focus, and memory. The addiction cycle. Give me a small commercial break. All right, so I'm back. Had to take a little small sip. I was choking up there for a second. But anyway, I was talking about the effects that the junk food have on the body, and that is more than just the body. It affects your mind, your emotions, your spirit, and even your sexuality. Mentally, it gives you brain fog because of the processed sugars and fats. It slows down your mental clarity, focus, and memory, which puts you in an addiction cycle. The junk foods lights up the brain's dopamine, or that's the reward system, creating cravings, compulsive eating, and dependency. And if you can't get those foods at that moment when you need it, when your body's craving it, it causes stress and anxiety because your blood sugar crashes, triggers and irritability, worry, and mental restlessness. Emotionally, you have mood swings because sugar highs and temporary euphoria, but the crashes create sadness, anger, which causes the depression risk. Your diet, which are that are heavy in junk foods, are linked to higher rates of depression. Low self-esteem. The cycle of overindulgence and guilt can affect, excuse me, how you feel about yourself. Spiritually, your lower vibration junk food is dead food, lacking life force energy, which is prana or chi down. That's what I was saying earlier. If you're ingesting the dead foods, dead processed food, dead animals, anything that's low vibration, or high in sugars, high in salts, it lowers your vibration. It makes you feel uh, restless, sluggish. It it depletes your energy. It takes away from your creativity. It just puts you in a state of where you just want to sit back and do nothing, grab a bag of chips, or uh, be on social media, just doing nothing. Where you could just, uh, if you put if you just put the energy, put life-giving foods in you inside your vessel, it'll give you more energy. You'll start to unblock your sacral chakra. You'll clear your third eye because you're giving your body life-giving food versus the dead foods. Like I was saying, junk food is not just like a bag of chips or something. It is the foods that are toxic to your body. That is junk to your body. You have clogged energy centers because the heavy foods congest the solar plexus, which is the willpower, and the third eye, which is your intuition. So if you feel like your intuition is off, or you don't get that gut feeling anymore, that's because you're putting the wrong things inside of your gut. Your gut is not clear enough to talk to you. So you're disconnected from your higher self in essence. um, You also disconnect connect from the source. It becomes harder to meditate, pray, or align with divine wisdom when the body is weighed down. So how does it affect us sexually? It gives you an energy drain. Junk food reduces stamina and vitality, leading to fatigue and lower libido.
So fellas, that's why you gotta go get them honey packs and
So that's why um, people need to get things to help stimulate themselves. The gas station sex wall, where you can just run the gas station and grab you some to help boost your libido. Or women have to get certain products to help them be moist. And I know it's other reasons why. It could be something wrong, but if you have a trash diet, that could also lead to your body not self lubricating, etc., etc., because of the hormone imbalance. Processed foods disrupt testosterone, estrogen, and reproductive hormones. So, in essence, if you have a trash diet, then your body is not going to work sexually. Your sexual reproductive organs are not going to work at their best, which could lead to, you know, could lead to different problems like circulation issues, poor blood flow. All right, let me get a small commercial break. All right, all right, all right. Thank you for hanging tight. We're back in full effect. All right, so I like to say don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And also, Sacred Space is back in place. We're going to be doing shows. I'll let you know. Um, our first show is going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a topic on. I don't know. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. Maybe we'll talk about the prana and the inner chi. Um, yeah, and how it affects the womb. We need to get back into the womb care. But right now, we're talking about your diet and junk food and how it affects your body, your mind, and your spirit. Right now, we were on the section about how it affects you sexually, and I was talking about the circulation issues that you can have, which is the poor blood flow from junk food affects arousal and performance, erectile dysfunction in men, and low sensitivity in women. You have the sacral chakra blockage. Spiritually, junk food can weaken creative sexual energy, making intimacy feel less connected and more mechanical. Just like a job, you don't get pleasure out of it. So, junk food numbs the mind, destabilizes emotions, lowers spiritual vibration, and weakens sexual vitality. Nourishing foods, on the other hand, heighten clarity, raise energy, balances emotions, and deepen intimacy physically and spiritually. So now we're going to talk about junk food and parasites. So, junk food and parasites are more connected than most people realize, both physically and spiritually. How junk food causes or feeds parasites. First, high sugar environment. Parasites like candida, worms, or protozoars, they thrive on sugar. So that's why you get yeast infections or like thrust, all that stuff because of the excess sugars, and it's like it's overrun with the yeast, the candida. Junk food creates a constant glucose rich environment which feeds them and makes them multiply. It gives you a weakened digestion because processed foods have little fiber and enzymes, slowing down digestion. Sluggish digestion creates undigested food waste, a perfect breeding ground for parasites. So basically, you're not cleansing out your system properly because your digestive system is not pushing everything out the way it's supposed to. So you have stuff just riding inside of your body. It's out of your intestines. It's out of your digestion tract, and it creates an environment for the parasites to thrive. And then you just continue to put, the unhealthy things inside of your body, which is just um, creating a wasteland for them to set up shop. So once you start putting, the healthy things in your body is going to first go into shock because it's not used to the healthy foods. It's going to think it's trying to kill you, and your mind is going to start to go crazy because it's going to start craving the unhealthy junk foods that you were putting inside of your body. But just like any addiction or anything that you're dependent on, and you try to get away from it, you have to fight those cravings. You have to fight those callings when it's calling you in the midnight hours. You got to get the monkey off your back. So once you be strong, because I'm not saying it's easy, just start switching out the unhealthy things one thing at a time, one step at a time for something healthy. If you still eat meat and you still eat everything, how about you just go to a pescatarian where you only eat fish? Small steps. Yeah, is if you really want to do better, you'll start taking the steps to do better. That's it. It's really black and white. It's either you want to have a healthy life, healthy body, and pass it down for your generations, or you really don't care and you're gonna do what you want to do. So you can't blame anything or anybody for the life that you have, because a lot of the diet, it plays a big role in your life. You say, well, my life is great. Well, if you change your diet, your life would be even better. Or you say, oh, my life sucks. Well, if you change change your diet, then you can start to change your life. Because if you're putting healthier things inside of your vessel, then your vessel is going to be able to create and work for you in the way that it was supposed to. So then your gifts and your talents will come to fruition, and your life will start to be better. So everything is dependent on what you ingest, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, sexually. All of that plays a role. And if you have a junk food diet, it's going to give you a weakened immune system, um, and inflammation, because a junk food diet is nutrition deficient. It don't have nutrients for you, so your body can't absorb the nutrients that it needs to be able to fight against the parasites, or fight against any ailment that try to come up against your body. Not to mention all of the chemical additives and preservatives that are in the processed or junk foods. They and all the chemical additives and preservations, they disrupt the gut microbiome. So your gut is not going to work properly. And we all know that the gut is a mind as well. So you want your brain to work properly, you need your gut to work properly as well. So a healthy gut bacteria usually fights parasites, but junk food allows bad bacteria, parasites to dominate. So your body, your gut doesn't have a fighting chance, basically. So what's the junk food and parasite correlation? All right, it's a cycle of cravings. The parasites send chemical signals that increase cravings for sugar and processed food, so you keep feeding them without realizing it. The mental emotional effects. Parasites release toxins that cause brain fog, irritability, mood swings, and even depression. These are the effects that mirror junk food itself. And the energy drain. Both junk food and parasites deplete your life force, having you tired, unfocused, and disconnected. Spiritual bondage. Parasites are physical reflections of energetic attachments. They feed off low vibrational food the same way negative energies feed off low vibrational choices. So, what's the spiritual perspective? Parasites are not just physical, they represent energetic invaders. Junk food lowers vibration and opens the door for parasitic energies, such as fear and doubt, cravings, lust, and lust without love to thrive. Cleansing the body through herbs, fasting, and living foods is also a spiritual exorcism, removing what feeds off your life force. So junk food doesn't just weaken the body, it creates the conditions for parasites to thrive, both biologically and spiritually. Together, they trap people in cycles of cravings, fatigue, low vibration, and disconnection from source. Breaking free means cleansing, nourishing, and reclaiming your power. right. So, all right. So that's basically the end of part one of junk food and how it has what role it plays on you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So we need to start making small steps to change our diets, um, not just for ourselves, but for our families that's dependent on us. We need to start teaching our children to have better habits of the things that they put inside of their body. Be more self-conscious and self-aware. Be more conscious of the things that you put in your body. Just take a few extra seconds in the grocery store and read the label. One thing that we really need to get away from is glucose. Yeah, because it's like crack for our brain. Um, yeah, so we really need to get. That's one thing that I look for, and like I said, it's like crack to our brain. And as I'm doing this, I'm thinking about the ginger ale that I want to go and drink. I have to break the addiction myself. So I'm grateful for these shows that I'm able to do and get more understanding of what the and getting more of an understanding of the things that we're actually talking about. And I know if I'm learning and growing, that you're learning and growing. So thanks again for tuning in and hanging out with us, and just getting these jewels.
Oh yeah, man. Oh man, feels so good to be back, ain't it, man? All right, so peace and abundance. Hope all is well. Gratitude for the intellectual latitude. Hopefully, this show changed your attitude. And gratitude in advance. Make sure you at least subscribe and share. If you're not donating financially, you know what I'm saying? At least subscribe and share. You feel me? Support in that way. All right. So peace and abundance. I'm working out some interviews. Oh yeah, by the way, let me say this small thing real quick. If we agree, book, collaborate, agree on a interview, a session, a collaborative effort, or whatever, and you aren't able to meet the availability, time, and space, or whatever, please, do business properly. So we won't have any confusion, because usually I don't really charge for collaborations depending on what it is. However, if we agree and we don't do it and it's nothing heard, and then you pop up out of nowhere, and then I gotta charge you for the time and the space, because I'm saying at first it was just it was a meeting of the great minds type of thing. So let's go ahead and do some smart collaborations, man, and let's get everything rolling. Peace and abundance. And hold on. And guess what? Cosmic Mind UV.